Stream. I'm Rusty, and here I attempt to solve a Sudoku puzzle. Get a hard puzzle today, puzzle number 813 in the SudokuStore's collection of Sudoku 1000 hard puzzles. I think they've got a little bit more than 1,000 puzzles in there, but it's what they're calling it. In any case, I'm going to let you get the first 20 seconds to see about getting a screenshot, maybe print it, and maybe follow along, see if you can solve it faster than I do. If this takes over an hour, I will stop, and we will work on solving it again another time. All right, here we go. And it is a good puzzle, or good seed, so you've got 15 seconds left or less. Five. All right. So one of these two is going to be a 5. I get a 1 in one of these two, 2, 3. Got 3 possibilities for a 4, one of those two for 5. I don't see any hints on 6s. 7 and 8 are here. 9 is going to be one of these 3. Up here, one of these two is going to be a 9. And down here, we get a 1 put in right there. That means we get a 1 put there as well. One of these two is a 1. This can't be a 1 now, so that's the one that's not. One of these two will be a 1. And I've got 4 possibilities for a 1 here. One of these two is a 2, but it's not going to be that one, it's that one. This one took care of this. One of these two here will be a 2. Get a 2 here and here, so one of these two is going to be a 2. Over here, I've got 3 possibilities for 2. 3s. I get a 3 here, a 3 here, 3 here, guiding me to a 3 here and or here. Over here, one of these two is a 3. Got a 3 here and here, meaning one of these two is a 3. And at the moment, I've got 6 possibilities here and 3 possibilities here. So on to 4s. We've got a 4 here, here, and here. So the top row is done. One of these two is going to be a 4. This one gets to be not a 4, so we get to delete that. So not a 4. I've got 5 possibilities for 4 there. 3 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. All right, 5s. This column of squares is filled. At the moment I've got, this is blocked from being a 5, so one of these 3 is going to be a 5. One of these 2 is a 5. Down here, one of these 2 is a 5. And that means one of these 3 is going to be a 5. That's more than I get to put in. All right, 6s. Get a 6 here. Which means that can't be a 6. So I've got 5 possibilities there. 3 possibilities here. I've got 5 possibilities here and 3 possibilities here. And everything else is wide open at the moment. All right. 7s. We've got a 7 here, another 7 here. We're down to 3 possibilities for a 7 here. This one is going to be a 7, so now we've got 2 possibilities here. Got a 7 here that locked this one into place. And that gives, and blocks here, so one of these two is a 7. And that means one of these two is a 7. Which means down here, one of these two will be a 7. Now the 7-3 pair here means everything else has to fit into these 3. One of those is going to be an 8, but the only other guidance I have on that is this here. This here guides one of these two is going to be an 8. One of these 4 is going to be an 8. One of these 3 is going to be an 8. Here I've got 3 possibilities. And up here I've got 4 possibilities. That doesn't help me over here. All right. 9s. We've got a 9 here. One of these 3 is going to be a 9. Don't know which yet. One of these 2 is a 9. I've already got that marked. Interesting. All right. So 3 there. One of these 2 is a 9. One of these 3 is going to be a 9. And that looks like all I can do at the moment. Let's run through 1 through 9 again real quick. Got one of these 2 is a 1. I've got 3 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. And otherwise they're marked out. 2s. So one of these 2 is going to be a 2. That's a 2. This is a 2. One of these 2 is a 2. That is a 2. These 2 are 2s. That's a 2. All right. So yes, I've got 2 possibilities for a 2. That means that can't be a 2. That's a 2, and that becomes a 5. This becomes not a 5. That's a 5. Okay. Okay, let's see. That's it for 2s. 3s. One of these 2 is a 3. Got a 3 here and here. Over here, I've got 3 possibilities and 2 possibilities here. We got these 2 with this one, and so far 6 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here, though. All right, 4s. One of these 2 is going to be a 4. We got 3 possibilities here, 5 here. Here I've got 3 possibilities. 3 possibilities here, and that's filled. All right, 5s. We got a 5 here. One of these 3 is going to be a 5. One of these 3 is going to be a 5. I've got 2 possibilities here. This column is filled. This column is filled. All right, 6s. Again, we've got a 6 here, and it's the only hard one on the board. We get 5 possibilities here, 3 here. 3 here, 4 here now with the 5 here. Okay, and locked out of being able to determine these yet. All right, 7s. So one of these two is going to be a 7. Got 4 possibilities here, 3 possibilities, no, 4 possibilities here. One of these two is a 7, one of these two is a 7. These two. All right, we get to fill something in here. Not to actually fill it in, but we get to lock in a number. So we get 1, 2. One of these two is a 3. So one of these two is going to be a 4. Because we got a 3, 7 pair here, 4, 9 pair here. That means here we've now got 3 possibilities for a 4. 2 possibilities. Let's go with the 2 possibilities there. All right, we were looking at 7s earlier, so let's see if we've got anything more with 8s. Just the 2 possibilities there, 3 here, 4 here. Here we've got 3 possibilities, 3 possibilities, and 3 possibilities. All right. Not a 4, so this is a 4, this is a 9. Now we've got lock-ins on 9 there. And one of these 3 is a 9, one of these 2 is a 9. 3 possibilities there. 4 possibilities here. 5 possibilities here. 3 here. 1, 3 is a 9, which means we're actually down to 2 possibilities here. That or that are a 9. And we've got 4 possibilities here, not 5. This one can't be a 9. All right, now I get to flood fill everything else in. So we got 1s here, 2. One of these 3 is a 3. Got a 4 and a 5 here. Nope. One of these 3 is a 6. 7 here. I've got 4 possibilities at an 8 here. And those same 4 possibilities can be a 9. Here we've got a 1 already. One of these two is a 2. These two is a 3. I've got a 4 here. One of these 3 is a 5. 6 is going to be wide open for now. 7. I've got 4 possibilities for an 8. And 2 possibilities for a 9 already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one of these 3 is a 6. 7. One of these 3 is an 8. And one of these 3 is a 9. In here we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one of these 3 is a 6. One of them is a 7. No, not a 7. 7's one of these two. One of these 3 is an 8. And 1 is a 9. All right. In here we've got 1s, 2, 3. 3 possibilities for a 4. 2 possibilities for a 5. We've got 5 possibilities for, no, 4 possibilities for a 6. Get a 7 and 8. So 2 possibilities for a 9. All right, this cannot be a 4, so this is a 1. Makes this a 4. Not a 4 here or here. That turns this into a 1. So 1, 2, where do we get 3s now? We get 3s in all 6 of these. For the moment. 4s, one of these, and this one is a 4. This one blocks this, and these two block these 2 rows or columns, no rows, and this one blocks this one. So this is our 4. Got a 5 here. We've got 4 possible 6s. We've got 3 possible 7s. 3 possible, nope, not an 8 there or here. This is blocked. That means this is an 8, which means one of these 2 is a 9. We already blocked this one off, so that's a 9. That turns this into a 6. 5 here. Not a 6 here. That's a 3. That turns this into a 7. This becomes a 3. Not a 3 here or here or here. This becomes a 6. Not a 6 here. 7, 9 pair here. We'll see if we can get that tidied up some. We can clean up a couple other things. That's going to be a 1. Not a 1 or an 8 there. Not an 8 there. This one gets to be a 3. So not a 3 here, not a 6 here or here. Not a 5 here. Not a 3 here. Oh, hey, we get to clean this up. 3 and 7 down here. Keeping up here, looks like this becomes a standalone 8. Let's check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a 9 down here. So yes, this is an 8. That makes this a 2, this a 6. Not a 6 or 8 there, not a 6 here, not a 6 here. This is a 9, 5, and 3. Turns that not into an 8, not into a 6 here or here. This becomes an 8, a 6, and a 9 here, which makes this a 6. One of these 2 is a 9. One is an 8. Not a 6 here. Okay, we've got a problem here. So we're going to back things out until we get these X's cleaned up. All right. This should be a 6, but if I turn it into a 6, that blocks that. Yes. So let's eliminate the 6 there and take a look. What am I missing here? So 1, 2. Can I put a 3 here? Nope. I got a 3 here. 4, 5. Potentially a 6, but that's already been worked out. 7, 8, and this can't be a 9. So I've got another error somewhere else in here. I'm going to start over. And this time we're going to start with a flood fill all the way through. So one of these 2 is a 1. One of these 3 is a 1. I've got 5 possibilities for a 1 here. 3 possibilities here. One of these 3 is a 1. One of these two is a 1, so neither of these can be a 1. That's a 1. Neither of these can be 1. That's a 1. That's not a 1, so one of these two is a 1, so this is not. That makes this a 1. All right, one of these two is a 2. I've got 3 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. And this one becomes a 2. All right, 3s. So 3 there, there. One of these two is a 3. We had determined that one of these two is a 3 earlier, and a 7. I'm going to go ahead and mark the 7, only because I know that it's going to have to be one of those two. Three possibilities for a 3 there. 3 possibilities here. Oh, not a 3 here. We've got, oh yeah, 6 possibilities for 3 here. Not 3 there. All right, 4s. 4 here and here. So one of these two is a 4. One of these 3 is a 4. Got a 4 there, so we're going to have 4 possibilities here. 5 possibilities for a 4 there. Here we've got 3 possibilities. Here I've got 3 possibilities. And 4 up there. So 5s, we've got 5s in this column. I've got 5 possibilities for a 5 here. Not a 5 here. So one of these two is a 5. I'd missed that. This is blocked over here. So these two are not going to be a 5. So one of these two is a 5. Down here I've got 5 possibilities. There. 2 possibilities here, which means only these 3 are 5s. Possibilities. All right. 6s. We've got the 6 here. We end up with 3 possibilities for a 6 here. 5 possibilities for a 6 here. 3 possibilities for a 6 here. 4 possibilities here. 4 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. It looks like I get everything possible here. And a bunch of possibilities here. 7s. We got these two marked already. One of these two will be a 7. I've got a 7 here, so one of these 3 is a 7. No, this one's a 7, not one of these two. That means one of these two is a 7. That gives me 2 possibilities down here, 4 possibilities here. All right, 8s. Got an 8 here. One of these 3 is an 8. That gives me 2 possibilities for an 8 here. Up here we've got 4 possibilities. We've got 3 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. And I'm going to count it as 4 possibilities here for an 8. All right, 9s. We've got a 9 here. One of these two will be a 9. One of these two will be, or 3 will be a 9. We get 3 possibilities here, so this does no longer become an 8 or 9. One of these two is going to be a 9. We'll come back to that shortly. Not a 1 here because of this one. Okay. I'm going to put in 6 possible 9s for now. Here I've got 4 possible 6 possible 9s. Here we've got 2 possible already marked. These are blocking these, so one of these 5 is a 9. I got the 3 possibilities there, and I've got 3 possibilities here. All right. Looking at this standalone 9, let's check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yes, this is a 9. That's not. And we can clean up these 3. That leaves us with a 4 here. Let's do a quick check on that. 1, 2, 3. Forward looking 4, 5, 6. One of these two, no. 7 has to be one of these two. 8 and 9, so this is a 4. These two become not a 4. Clean up these 2 4s as well. This one and this one. This becomes a 1. Let's check that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yes, 1 here. And we can clean up a couple of others. This one becomes a 4 as a result. So clean up those 4s, and this one, making this a 4. But we're looking for 1s at the moment, so to clean up, I think, yep, that's the one that can be cleaned up. That gives me a 1 here. Fours to clean up here. And this one gets to be a 1. Nine, 6, 9, 6. So this becomes a 2, 5. We're missing the 8s. I didn't get 8s put in here. Now I've got nothing guiding 8 here, so all of these could potentially be an 8. Including this one, perhaps. Let's back out to that as well. Nope, let's go ahead and we know that this is going to be a 1, so we can go back to the 1 in that corner there. All of these now need to have 8s dropped into them. All right. We got a standalone 6 here. So in this square, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's going to be a 5 because we've got a 5 there and there. The 9 is going to be here, so this is a 6. So we can clean up the 5, the 6s, 5 there. Clean up that 6, that 9. Get both the 6 and the 9 there. we got a standalone 3 here. So the only other thing we're missing is a 6 in the column. That's blocked here. So 3 here, clean up 3s. Clean up that 3, turning that into a 7. This one becomes a 3. Now we've got a 6. Oh, we got the 7s to clean up. We've got a 6 here that's on its own. And the column is says that's going to be a 6. So we got to clean up that 6. We got an 8 and a 4 here. Still have a 7 and 3 here. We can clean up some 8s up here. One of these two is still going to be a 3. All right. Two is blocked here, so this is going to be a 2. This is going to be 8. That makes this a 7. This becomes a 5, so not a 5 here. This is a 5. I've got a 6, 3, but I've got the 9, 6 pair here, so this becomes a 3. This becomes a 6. This is an 8. This is a 2. 8 here. Not an 8 there or there. Not a 6 here, here, or here. This is a standalone 6 now. We'll come back to that. That would make this a standalone 4. This can't be a 4, so yes, this is a 4, which means now this is a 6. 7, 8, 5, 8, or 7, 9, 5, 9, 5, 9. So this is a 7. Not a 7 here. Or not an 8 here. Not an 8 here. Not a 2 or 6 here. Not a 6 here. Ooh, 9, 6, 9, 6 makes this one into a 3. I already cleaned out that 3 down there. Just had to tidy it up. This becomes a 6. This goes a 9, 8 here, 9 here. This now becomes a 6. This is a 9. 6 here. Oh, nope, that's not a 6. 8 here, 6 here. This becomes a 5 and a 2. This becomes a 9. This becomes a 5. This becomes a 9, 8, 6. And we get a 7, 9 here. 7, 3 here to solve. Hey, 32 minutes and 14 seconds for me today. I don't think that's bad at all. I hope you have a good day. Have a great Sunday. Take as much or have as much fun as you can and share the world with everybody as well. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.